Someone screamed, "She's taking that baby! Call the police, she's not the mother!" And within seconds, 4 strangers had surrounded her at the mall entrance, blocking every exit. The old woman held the toddler tighter, confused, saying, "Wait, please, you don't understand." But her voice was drowned by shouting. A security guard grabbed her arm hard enough to make her stumble. The baby started crying. Someone filmed it, narrating like a hero. "We got her! We got her before she could leave the building." The woman's name was Delia, 67 years old, gray cardigan, orthopedic shoes, a tote bag with juice boxes and wipes. She kept repeating, "This is my grandson. This is my grandson." But a young mother nearby was sobbing, pointing, saying, "That's not his grandmother. I've never seen this woman in my life. Someone check her bag. She probably drugged him." The crowd surged closer. A man in a security vest radioed for police. Delia's knees buckled and someone caught her, not gently, more like restraining a suspect than helping an old woman stand. The baby, Mateo, reached for her face, saying, "Nana, Nana," and the crowd went quiet for exactly 1 second before deciding that proved nothing. "Kids get attached to kidnappers too," someone muttered. Stockholm Syndrome starts young. The young mother, Priya, was shaking, mascara running, phone gripped so hard her knuckles were white. "I turned around for 10 seconds. 10 seconds. He was gone." Nobody thought to ask why a grandmother would be strolling calmly through a food court with a stolen child instead of running. Police arrived within 4 minutes. They separated Delia from the crowd, sat her on a bench, and asked for ID. Her hands trembled so badly the officer had to help her get the card out of her wallet. Priya stood 10 feet away, arms crossed, refusing to look at her. Then the officer's radio crackled. A second unit had reached the food court where Priya's sister worked, and the story cracked wide open. Priya wasn't Mateo's mother. She was his aunt. Delia wasn't a stranger. She was Priya's own mother-in-law, the boy's actual grandmother, and she had full, court-approved, supervised visitation rights every Thursday, arranged after a custody hearing 3 months earlier, after Priya's husband, Mateo's father, had been found unfit due to violent behavior toward Priya. Delia had been granted visits specifically because Priya herself had asked for it. The two women had been close once, before the divorce turned everyone against everyone. But that morning, Priya had gotten a text from her ex, warning her that his mother was planning to take Mateo somewhere he'd never be found. A lie built entirely out of sight, sent to punish Priya for filing the restraining order that kept him away from his own son. Priya, exhausted, terrified, still healing from months of threats, believed it instantly. She saw Delia walking calmly with Mateo near the exit, panicked, and screamed the first accusation that came to her. The officer read the custody paperwork twice, then looked up at the crowd that had tackled a grandmother in public over a lie forwarded by a bitter, controlling man who wasn't even present. Delia didn't press charges. She sat on that bench holding Mateo, who had fallen asleep against her shoulder like nothing happened, and she watched Priya crumble against a pillar, apologizing over and over. "I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. He told me you were leaving the state with him." "I know," Delia said quietly. "I know whose voice you were hearing. It wasn't yours." The crowd that had filmed the takedown didn't apologize. Most had already left, satisfied they'd stopped something. The video stayed online for days, captioned, "Grandmother almost gets away with kidnapping," racking up comments cheering the strangers who grabbed her, until Delia's daughter posted the custody order underneath it, and the comments turned "Justice ass, justice rule," aimed now at Priya instead. Delia still comes every Thursday. Priya still can't fully look her in the eye. The ex-husband was found in contempt of the custody agreement with a false warning, but no law exists for what he actually did, turning a frightened mother into a weapon against the one person who never stopped loving that little boy. Nobody in that food court ever came back to say they were sorry, and Delia says she doesn't want an apology anymore. She just wants Thursdays. She just wants Mateo to keep reaching for her face and saying her name like nothing in the world ever tried to take out from either of them.